vessels and 2 more vessels. All right, we're about to go with another video segment, this time from Ari Abramowitz and Jeremy Gimpel. Now, those of you who've watched them, they are exciting, a love of Israel, a love of the Torah and giving over, and they also had a special connection with Ari. And I have a quick little story to tell all of you. I don't know if it's in their segment, but I doubt it. Ari went to visit them in their farms in the Judean hills, the Arugot farms. Now, it's out there, right? It's not that far away from Gush Etzion. It's part of Gush Etzion, but it's a little out there, Ma'aleh Amos, where the prophet Amos prophesied the Jewish people returning to the land of Israel. They are out there on a hill settling this land. And Ari went out and visited them at the Arugot farms. And the reception isn't so great there. But like Ari does, he whipped out his camera, his smartphone, to take a video, to go live on Facebook. And Ari and Jeremy took him around and took him down into the valley, right? A gorgeous, deep valley in the Judean hills area. And he was live. Ari was live, going down with them. And they kept on going lower, 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 even down to a cave. And Ari and Jeremy were amazed because Ari was still live. The reception doesn't work for anybody, but the reception worked for Ari.
By the way, that was over a year ago.
That was over a year ago.
Today, in Jeremy's house, he doesn't have a reception.
Right, but Ari had reception to go live on Facebook to show everyone the beauty of the Judean hills. So here we go with the excitement of Ari and Jeremy, bringing us closer to their connection with Ari and their connection to their farm out there in Arugot Farms. Let's go check out what they're going to be showing us. Ari and Jeremy.
All right.
Here we are at the Arugot Farms. Why is it called the Arugot Farms? Arugot from Ka'ayal ta'arog al afikei mayim. Just as a deer is yearning or thirsting for streams of water, so do we thirst for you, Hashem. This is a place of thirsting. So I'm Ari Abramowitz, and this is Jeremy Gimpel, my best friend.
Ta'arog elecha, Elohim. So too my soul will yearn for you.
Right, I went on to translate that.
But you missed the Hebrew verse.
That's true, I missed the Hebrew verse, and that's why you're here to complete what I fall short on. And that's really Am Yisrael. Am Yisrael are here to complete what each one of us falls short on. We're approaching Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Ashamnu, Bagadnu, Gazalnu, Dibarnu, Dofi.
No,
I happen to have fallen short on all of those.
None of those are said on Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah is about making God king of the universe.
I said Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur.
But no, you said Rosh Hashanah.
Is this going to be Kuzbara, this whole thing? Really, we could do something really nice here.
How could we do anything nice with you on this camera?
Could you just stop it? I'm not doing this, really.
Stop it.
What we were doing, I'm trying to do something nice, and you're just like, what are you doing? It's constant Kuzbara on Elul.
On Elul.
On Elul.
Let's do tshuva.
Let's start over, all right? Here we are at the Arugot Farms. I'm Ari Abramowitz here with Jeremy Gimpel, my commander, my best friend, my... I can't.
Why did you do best friend like that?
Because you're not really.
I am your best friend.
No, you're not.
No,
you're not. I have a new best friend.
What's his name?
Gedalia.
Gedalia.
Could we do this for real?
I'm trying to.
No, you're really not. You're grizzling everything I'm doing.
I'm trying to make it entertaining.
But that's not entertaining. No, it's Rosh Hashanah, Melech. I'm like saying nice things and you're undermining everything.
Well, this is entertaining. I like it.
Here we are at the Arugot Farms. I'm Ari Abramowitz here.
Arugot Farms?
I'm not doing this.
What? I was having a conversation.
You're interrupting me, Dafka. I'm trying to do this so we can leave. You're going to be like, oh, gotta go. Forget you, Ezri. Forget you. Stop recording. Really, could you please not do that? I'm really let's just do something nice for Ari Fuld. It's not about you and your grizzers and your thing.
I'm just trying to make this entertaining.
Okay. Shalom, everybody. Here we are at the Arugot Farms. I'm Ari Abramowitz here with Jeremy Gimpel, my best friend, my commander in the army, and we have come out to these mountains to settle them and make them green.
Why is it called Arugot?
It's called the Arugot Farms. That's a great question. The Arugot Farms, I mean, this is the Arugot Valley, okay? Which, Jeremy, tell them a moment about the Arugot Valley.
Well, the Nachal Arugot, which you see right behind us, is, of course, one of the most beautiful views in all of Israel. But it is actually the top of the En Gedi Spring. So the rainwater that collects in Wadi Arugot, or the Arugot River, spills into the En Gedi Spring near the Dead Sea. So from one of the highest mountain tops in Israel, it drops to the lowest place on earth, which creates these breathtaking, stunning views. But more important than that,
there's a deeper idea here, and that comes from one of the verses in Tehillim. It says, "Ka'ayil ta'arog al afike mayim ken nafshi ta'arog elecha Elohim." As a deer or an ibex is thirsting or yearning for water, so does my soul thirst or yearn for you, Hashem. So this is a place of yearning and of thirsting, and that's why it was really beautiful, orchestrated from above, that Ari Fuld, Hashem Yikom Damo, came here at the very beginning when we were just really starting this place, and blessed us here. He came here, his very presence here was a bracha, was a blessing, but he spent a good amount of time here walking through the place with us, encouraging us. And when I say encouraging us, I mean to have a guy like Ari Fuld, who has such mesirut nefesh, self-sacrifice for Am Yisrael, who has such a love for the Jewish people, who dedicates so much of his time. I mean, when I say so much, all of his conscious effort and energy was dedicated to the Jewish people. For him to come out here and praise us with encouragement and support and blessings and help, I mean, he was a guy that really rose above. It's very easy sometimes to get lost in like, oh, this is my little mission and that's your little mission and we're competing against each other. Ari Fuld never saw it that way. He always saw it that we're all on the same team and we have to bless each other and support each other and encourage each other. And he came out here, and that was a really beautiful thing. We'll intersplice some of his ideas that he shared out here and the time he spent here with us, which was really a very special time for us.
Yeah, the truth is, watching that video now, because it was taken a few years ago, we were such good friends with him. We were just like joking around, just having fun, just loving our lives in the land of Israel. And just kind of like now, a year has passed, and here we are now looking at these videos, continuing to build what he loved so much. He just loved it here so much. Just watch his response the first time that he came out here.
You know, coming back to the land of Israel is biblical, and it's amazing, it's miraculous. What I'm about to show you, you have not seen. What I'm about to show you, people probably have not seen in 2,000 years. All right, so where we are right now, well, this is not on the map. And let me just turn this around for 1 second. All right, you're looking literally at the hills. Whenever I sign up for Shabbat and I say Shabbat Shalom for the rolling hills of beautiful Judea, Israel. So, you know, I'm making that up. I'm in a front. It's built up. I am standing here in a place literally on the hills of Judea. I don't know if you can see in the distance right there. I'm looking in the distance. I don't know if you can see it. That's the Dead Sea right there. All right, if I turn a little further this way, over that mountain, you can reach Masada. We're literally, so let me introduce you a couple of people here. First of all, Jeremy Gimpel. How you doing?
Awesome.
All right. And Ari Abramowitz here.
Thrilled.
You know, there are people, again, who talk about building the land of Israel, and there are people who do it.
Ari Abramowitz is who does it.
Ari Fuld is who does it.
Ari Fuld is who does it.
This guy
protects the Jewish people.
What
do you do for the
listen
Jewish
to me. This guy.
So it's been a full year now since Ari Fuld was so brutally taken from the Jewish people and from the world. And you know, when something is raw and visceral right after it happens, it seems like it will last forever. But then one thing leads to another and people forget. I was just last night at Nitzanim, which is one of the bigger synagogues in Jerusalem, and it was packed to the hilt for a memorial for Ari Fuld. We got to see videos about Ari. We heard his mother and we heard his wife, and he's still truly, truly missed. Not only on a macro level for the Jewish people, but he's missed on a micro level for me. I feel like when I do go to Facebook, we're out here on this mountain, we don't often have internet reception, which is a blessing, but when I do go to Facebook, it's just a lot of silly emptiness, and there's no Ari that is just there constantly going out, putting his face and saying, hey, remember, something real is happening. There's something important to think about. The fate of the Jewish people is on the line. Wake up, Jews. Wake up, Jews of America. Wake up, Jews in Israel. There's no human shofar that's really blowing a message of really Rosh Hashanah, a message of waking up on a spiritual level, on an emotional level, on a physical level. He was all of those things, and he's really, truly missed, I think, on a personal...
I think it's hard to really describe who Ari was if you didn't know him. But there's a concept in Judaism that sometimes a man's death and a man's birth is on the same day, that you can somehow tell something special about that. And the way that Ari left the world somehow encapsulated everything that he was attacked, and then after a stab wound was able to chase down the terrorist, pull out his gun, get into position, and neutralize the terrorist in order to defend the rest of the Jews that were around him. Like, the way that he left the world was as a warrior. And I just felt like he was a warrior in almost every aspect. He was a warrior in Torah, constantly learning Torah, constantly teaching Torah. He was a warrior on social media. He was a warrior traveling around the world, speaking about Israel. Just a constant Gibor Israel. Like, imagine a man that manifested what it is to be a Gibor, what it is to be a Gever. A Gever is a man. A Gibor is a hero in Hebrew. And what is the difference between those two words? Two letters, Yud and Vav, which is Hashem's name. He was like a man's man, bigger than Ari, stronger than Ari. Like, I'm little. I'm like not a very big guy. Ari Fuld was bigger than Ari and stronger than Ari.
And I will agree, Jeremy is little. That's true. But that's not what we're talking about. You know what? I want to say one other thing.
I'm in the middle of a sentence. He was a man's man, a Gever, but somehow the added Yud and Vav of Hashem's name in his personality made him into a superhero, made him into such a Gibor. And he is just so missed today because there's just this vacant, empty. There is no more of who he was. It's almost like the Jewish people were waiting 2,000 years to design this Torah scholar, warrior Jew, fearless and brave. And here he was, and now he's gone. And now all we have is kind of the videos that he's left behind.
But I'll tell you, he wasn't only a Gibor when it came to social media. He wasn't only a Gibor when it came to fighting and to physicality, but he was also a Gibor when it came to chesed. And that very place where he was murdered by an Arab terrorist, he would also go and give tzedakah to not only Jews, but Arabs in that very place. I would get calls from Ari, and I was thinking, what's he going to do? Is he going to call me to Hebron to meet him up? No, he's got a girl that he wants to set me up with. That's what he was thinking about. He was not only thinking about the greater challenges of the Jewish people, but on a micro level, building Jewish families, building up Jewish homes, bringing light to the Jewish people. You know, it's a rare balance to find someone who's able to be, on the one hand, such a warrior, and on the other hand, so kind and compassionate and gentle.
It's also a rare balance to find anyone that would be able to date you.
That's true. That's true. And Ari was able to find, she agreed. She agreed to go on a date with me. And that is something that's also very unique about Ari Fuld. But he's definitely missed on every single one of those fronts.
But I think, you know, Ari Fuld was not only just a man of the spirit, he was really very practical. And when he came out to the Ari Goat farm here, he just loved the fact that we were building up Eretz Yisrael. I mean, if Gedalia were to turn around here, you would see that all of these open expanses here behind us, all of this here is unsettled still. All of these are the open mountains in desert of Judea. This right here is the tip of the spear of Jewish settlement. And you know, we're coming around Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur now, and we talk about tshuva. The first time tshuva is mentioned in the Torah is Veshavta ad Hashem Elohecha. You shall return to the Lord your God. Now, that's also in the context of returning to the land of Israel. Now imagine that, the first Jewish city built in the land of Israel as the newest city was Tel Aviv, literally on the water, on the coast. And now, as we've returned to God and we're returning to ourselves and we continue this tshuva process, we're returning more and more into the land, just as the Torah envisioned. And he came out here and he saw the deepest settlement in Judea today with all of this ahead of us. And he just was so thrilled at the building of the land. And now you need to understand that the world calls this area occupied territories. But I just want you to see from here until the Dead Sea, it's a little bit hazy today, but you can very clearly see the Dead Sea on a clear day, the mountains of Jordan. Who exactly are we occupying here? There's literally no one here. There's no Jews here. There's no Arabs here. This is a Jewish community called Ma'aleh Amos. Beyond that, there's no one here.
We have drone aerial footage from before we came here, and there was nothing here. There was not one olive tree.
So this idea of giving this land to people that were occupying, it's just a lie. And that's what Ari really stood for. He stood for truth. Instead of this being the West Bank and we're occupying settlers, we are Jews, and these are the mountains of Judea. It's easy saying colonizing West Bank settlers evacuate this territory. That almost sounds legitimate, but really what the world is saying is Jews, get out of Judea. And that's a little bit harder for the ear to process, because Jews are called Jews because we're from Judea. We are called Jews because this land gave birth to our identity. Japanese are called Japanese because they're from Japan. And Chinese are called Chinese because they're from China. You know why Jews are called Jews? Because we're from Judea. And imagine that truth finally resonating, going out into the world. That was his message, fighting for truth as all of the fake news and propaganda is being spread about Israel. Ari was there as like a beacon of truth.
You know, when
The book of Amos.
So you know what the funny thing is when people are arguing about politics, you know, occupied, not occupied, I'm like, you know, you can lie. Archaeology can't lie.
Yeah.
Archaeology, and you know, I feel sad about this. You know, with the people who are, let's say, non-Jewish and against Israel, what am I going to do with them? Our own people. Like they talk about, you know, somebody said the other day we occupy Jerusalem. You know, we occupy the West Bank. It's Judean Samaria, and it's not Judean Samaria because I like the name. That's just what it is.
But let me tell you what I like about what you're doing right now. I watched this debate that you have with that guy on that channel.
TV, yeah, every week.
But what you never lose your midot. Not only don't you lose your attributes of being kind and good, but you also exude that you like this guy despite all that.
Right.
The issue we're having with the Arabs here is not ever going to be solved. It's only going to be transcended. Only when we transcend it and realize that this whole little conflict with them isn't the issue.
No.
The real issue is who are we as the people? When we say we are the nation of Israel, the Jewish people,
you know,
that would solve itself. It's only going to be transcended.
Our problems are not with the Arabs. It's just not.
It's not.
You know, it's really with us, and we have to really realize who we are again. This is truly Ari. This is unbelievable.
It's a huge. And Ari embodied the idea of what is Judea, and what does that mean? It's the opposite of what it is to be an exiled Jew. Ari would have never, he didn't use the word diaspora. Diaspora means there's Jews scattered around the world and there's Jews in Israel and to each their own and each is legitimate, whereas exile means that they're not where they're supposed to be. Because when a Jew is in exile physically, he's also in exile emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually. And that's not to say that in Israel we don't have elements of that still with us, even if we're in the land of Israel. That's true. But Ari was able to rise above that. And how did he really manifest that? By not being afraid. He was a Jew that wasn't afraid. Not only physically going into war in elite units, going into Lebanon, he wasn't afraid on an emotional, spiritual level. He would go and debate head on. A lot of Jews are soft and they like to be really sweet and kind. I even have that in me. I like for people to like me. Ari was like, I don't need people to like me. I don't need people to love me. I need Hashem to love me. I need to tell the truth. And if that means going face to face, head to head, confrontation with the whole world, I'll do it. And that's really missing. I miss that. It would inspire me. It would help guide me to watch Ari, and that's really like still a void that's in the world and in Israel and in my life.
When you think about Ari's work in the world, it's amazing to think that a year has passed and his work has continued. His impact in the world continues to reverberate. There are evenings for his memory. There are projects that he started that people are continuing. There are more and more people that have joined the battle on social media and in the real media just to get out the truth of Israel and the mission of the Jewish people. And so it's amazing to say that Tzaddikim in their death become even more powerful than when they were in their lifetime. And we can see that Ari's work has only expanded and only grown since his passing. And here we are a year later. He would have been so proud to see how much we've done. Now that there are families living on this mountaintop, we have electricity here, we have water here, we have the largest ecological pool in Israel here. People are coming from around the world to learn the truth about Judea, to learn the truth about the Jewish history of this place. And so his work continues, and we're continuing it for him. And so just think it's a year. I feel like
it's a year, and that's why it's a good way to mark his life and to perpetuate the energy and the blessing he brought to the world, and to contribute to his mission, to contribute to these trucks that are going to be able to really help Am Yisrael, the Jewish people, Chayalim, Jews from throughout the land of Israel, and to keep his memory alive in that way. I mean, we're not able to have Ari out here, but I tell you, we have merited having his family come out here a number of times. His wife, who is truly a gibora. You know, she is faced being left with her children that are getting married, and she's standing there under the chuppah without Ari by her side. A normal person would be just brought to their knees in anguish. And although I'm sure she is in anguish, she's a very strong woman, and his children are very strong, and they've come out here, and they get tremendous strength from what we're doing here, because what we're doing here isn't just us. We see ourselves as custodians of this place that are part of this mission, that are making this place available and open and accessible to Am Yisrael and to the entire world to experience the magic and the holiness of Judea. And that was Ari's mission of the world. So he continues to live through this place and throughout all of Judea and all of Israel.
You know, when at his funeral, his daughter spoke, and the sentence that she said until today has just like hit me hard. And she said, if life is easy, you're not living it right. And I just feel like that's a real message for the Jewish people today. Comfortable Jews that are around the world sort of watching the news from their armchair in their beautiful living rooms in the 5 towns. If life is easy, you're not living your life right. And he lived that by example. He was constantly working to further the mission of the Jewish people, to fix this broken world, to bring light into this world, to bring truth into this world. And so I feel like everyone should sort of like pick up the slack that he's left behind. And then if life is a little bit easy, then pick up a burden. Pick up the heaviest burden that you can carry and put it on your shoulders and start walking towards Israel and helping the mission here. We are at a crossroads of Jewish destiny. Imagine now the second elections in less than a half a year. Am Yisrael is going through some sort of clarification. Which direction are we going? Where are we headed? And Am Yisrael hasn't decided yet. And so it's time for us to pick up the burden and let's direct Am Yisrael in the right direction. This is your way to continue the cause, either financially by contributing to the project that Ari had started that we get the privilege of finishing, or to follow what Ari would have wanted us to do, and to fight for Israel, and to fight for the truth, and to fight for this land, and to fight for our freedom, to never take our freedom in this land for granted. And so it should be a blessing for the world in his memory. So after Ari was killed, everyone was putting out videos, everyone was talking, everyone was speaking, and I was just shell-shocked. I had just moved to this mountain. Ari being taken from us was too much of a shock for me to really respond to. And so in just one of my journals, I was just looking through which one it was. I just wrote Ari a letter because I had to say something, and I didn't know, I never imagined this would ever actually be aired, but here it is. This is my best way of like actually speaking to Ari from here. So this was written about a month after he passed away. Dear Ari, a day doesn't go by that I don't think about you. I think it has something to do with the fact that your picture is the only picture on my fridge. I look at that badass picture of you with the vest, the sunglasses, a warrior of Israel. That's what you were, a freaking warrior. And you are my constant reality reminder. You were killed by the enemy. We are at war, and you chose to be a warrior. If life is easy, you're not living it right. It's like, get your boots strapped on, march on, soldier. We have a mission at hand. In life, we were friends, brothers in arms. We first became friends when we were arrested together on Etam. But in your death, you've become a mythic, legendary thing, an archetype of a Jew. You remind me of our history. Only a few hundred men joined David. Most Jews stayed neutral. Only a minority joined the Maccabees. In modern Israel, the Lehi, the Etzel, the Haganah, it's only a few thousand. Most Jews just tried to make ends meet and make their aliyah successful. You were the elite. You chose to be a fighter for Israel, not only in the IDF, but in your Torah, in your Ahavat Israel, your sing beyond yourself for the Jewish people and for the truth of Israel. Brother, the way you went down, are you kidding me? You're not a person anymore, you're an idea. You are the Jewish idea. I'm out here on this mountain giving it my all. I'm still in the fight, and so is Ari. You are giving us more strength now than ever. And so this place, in some ways, is Le'ilui Nishmatcha. I just wanted to tell you that. Shabbat Shalom, Tzaddik. So now a year has passed, and here we are, that much closer. Israel is that much stronger. Thank you, Ari.
When we came out here, it was empty, barren, desolate. We paved the roads, we brought out the water, the electricity. We have nearly 5,000 fruit trees, 3 vineyards, Beit Tfilah, a house of prayer, unparalleled in the entire country. We have a retreat center, an ecological pool that it would take me hours just to explain. Just seeing this video or reading about this place versus being here is roughly equivalent to seeing a sheet of musical notes versus going to a Philharmonic orchestra. One needs to experience the magic and the beauty of Judea to really connect with it. And that's why Ari would end every single one of his videos of his messages from the rolling hills of Judea, because it was part of who he is. He was Ari, he was a lion. The Lion of Judea is Ari Fuld, is who he was and what he was about. And just as if, God forbid, something were to happen to me and I were to leave this world, people would be able to continue my life force by my life's mission and my life's purpose, helping to bring that mission forward, and bringing life and energizing vitality to the mountains of Judea, to the Jewish people, and really to bring life and God into this entire world. And that's why here we are right now. A year has passed since Ari Fuld left the world, but we have an opportunity to contribute to his life force, his life's mission. And one of the primary missions he had in the world was to bring encouragement and strength and resuscitate the battered souls of a lot of our soldiers who are facing overwhelming odds. 23 Arab states, 57 Muslim states, far left organizations. They're facing so much negativity, and he wanted to bring them positivity and gratitude and strength. And so he was halfway there to bringing this truck that would be able to bring countless soldiers this type of encouragement and comfort and support that he had in memory of his friend who was murdered. So you're not only perpetuating the memory and the life mission of Ari, but of his friend Yehoshua, who was also a lone soldier that was taken from this world by Arab terrorism. So there's so much possible to help this mission of keeping these Jewish souls, their flames lit, and that's a beautiful way to do it.